Welcome to your gentle practice. So for today's class, we are going to need a pillow or a bolster, as well as 2 blocks. So if you don't have blocks, then just grab some towels and just roll them up into little cylinders. We're just going to use them to kind of support underneath the body. So the intention of today's practice is really just to slow it down. So we aren't going to be holding poses as long as we typically do in yin and restorative yoga, but we're going to be definitely moving in that direction. So this is a great class to do just maybe in the evening, before bedtime, maybe on the weekend, or just on those days where you actually feel like you just need to exhale. So let's get started, set up in a reclined butterfly. And I'm actually going to use my blocks just to create a little bit of an incline. And having an incline like this can be really nice just to sort of set the body up. It also helps us to stay lying on our back for longer. You can also use a little extra pillow if you have one, just to support underneath the head. So this is kind of the shape that we're looking for. If you don't have blocks, you can also set your bolster up sort of at an incline against the wall, and that will help you to be a little bit reclined, but maybe not as far down as what I'm going to be here. All right, so ensuring that the blocks are really nice and stable. From here, we'll take the soles of the feet together and come to recline back onto our bolsters. Now you can choose how far or how close you want the feet, just depending on how your hips feel today. And at any time, if this becomes a little bit too much for the hips, you're welcome to step the feet onto the mat and just knock the knees together. From here, with the knees out to the side, we'll connect the hands to baby, maybe allowing the hands to just rest on the belly or just below the rib cage. And allow the body to fully relax and soften into your props here. Notice if there's any part of the body that is still holding any tension, and can you find a little bit more relaxation through those parts? And for the first few moments of the class, I simply want you to notice how you're feeling today. Notice what's happening in the physical body. Noticing how you're feeling emotionally, mentally, what's taking up space in your mind. And as we carve out time here, just for 30 minutes, allowing yourself to just be as you are today. You've showed up, you've arrived on your mat. So just by being present, we have done enough. And as we move through the class today, there's no right or wrong way to move. Just simply listening, checking in, and moving in a way that feels good for you and your body. Noticing what your breath feels like, and just let the breath be really effortless and natural today as you take nice full deep breaths in and relaxing on the breath out. Take just another 5 deep breaths here. And from here, let's take the hands to the outer edges of the knees, step the feet onto the mat, and just reaching the arms up and overhead, maybe grabbing opposite elbows as you let your hands rest behind the head or even on the forehead if it feels like taking it overhead is too much. And I want you to notice the breath and see if you can breathe a little bit fuller into the lungs as you inhale, feeling that expansion through the rib cage. And exhale to soften. You would like to take a nice sigh out through the mouth. Just letting it go. 2 more like that. And then just allowing your hands to slide back down to the side. We're going to keep that left leg where it is, taking that right ankle above the left knee into a figure 4. And you can walk that left foot a little bit closer to the body, just until you're getting a very gentle stretch on the outside of that right hip. And you can choose here to keep the legs nice and still. If you'd like to find a little rock from side to side. Sometimes when I take my legs just a little bit over to the left, I notice that stretch a bit more. And even if you're not feeling a very intense stretch here, just notice what it feels like to have the legs in this shape. Let's take 3 more breaths here. Then bringing it back, let that right foot slide down as you swap over to the other side, left foot on top. And holding through your figure 4 stretch here, or a little bit of movement, just as you notice how your hips are feeling. Let's take our next 3 breaths here. Then bringing the body all the way back. Let's step that left foot down onto the floor. You can just roll over onto one side, helping yourself off your props. We're going to turn to face our props out in front of us. So we're not going to move them as yet, just easily turning around so that we don't have to shuffle our props around. Coming onto our hands and our knees and starting with some nice big hip circles here. So you're welcome to even part the knees a little bit wider and just start taking the knees over to one side, or rather the hips over to one side as you draw big circles in one direction. And for this one, just move in a way that feels good. If you want to rock even more forward, get in a side bend, just let it be really fluid and organic. And then swapping direction out. Finishing your last 2 rounds in this direction. And then the next time you bring the body all the way forward, we'll set up for a child's pose. So hopefully you don't have to change your props too much, keeping the knees nice and wide to make space for baby. And then just allowing the body to fall over your props as you let your hands rest along the side of the body. And your head can gaze to one side. And just letting the body soften here. If you prefer to do your child's pose without props, or maybe you have an extra pillow to add more support, you're welcome to do so. You have your head over to one side. You can swap it now. Just noticing what it feels like to be still and hold the poses a little bit longer. And then using the support of your hands, let's bring ourselves all the way back up onto our hands and our knees. And just send one leg back behind you, tuck into the toes, send the hips back, just stretching out through the calves. And then swapping it out to the other side, dropping that right knee in, and your left leg will go back. Bringing that left knee in, coming to sit down onto our heels. And what you can do here is either prop your bolster between the sitting bones and the heels, or maybe even parting the knees slightly and coming to sit on your bolster, maybe even a bolster and a block if you need more height. So just setting yourself up nice and comfortably so that you can be quite supported just in this kneeling shape. And we're just going to do some gentle stretches for the upper body. So with the right hand dropping down to the floor, take a nice side bend over to that right side, relaxing the head, the neck, the shoulder. And from here, we'll create some nice big circles just by taking that left arm back and then all the way forward. We'll do 3 more. And the last one. When it takes you all the way back, let it transition you over to that left side. Left hand down, right arm reaches up and over. And you've got your 3 big circles, taking it back and forward. And then your last one will bring you all the way back up. Keep your hands out wide. Taking a breath in as you open up the chest. And as you breathe out, rounding it, almost as if you're hugging a giant beach ball. 2 more. Inhale to open. And exhale to round. Last one, opening up the arms. And exhale to round. Bringing the body all the way up. Let's remove this bolster. Send your hips over to one side. And then come to bring the knees into a staggered position. So we'll take almost like a zigzag shape into the legs. So let's have our left shin in front if you haven't already. And then facing over your left leg. Now here we'll move into what we call a deer pose. So we'll walk the hands ahead of that left shin. You can choose, if you have blocks, maybe you want to bring the blocks up onto their highest level and just allow the elbows to support underneath the body. You can also place a bolster ahead of you, or maybe even on the shin. It really depends. I would support that bottom knee first, and then just take a bolster over the body and relax. So play around with what feels better to support underneath as you fold forward. And we'll just take a couple of breaths here. And while the upper body is really supporting us here, can we soften through the hips, the shoulders as much as we can, the jaw, and just really letting the body surrender into this shape. Let's take 3 more breaths. Let's bring it all the way back up. And then using your hands back behind you just to guide you over to the other side, taking your deer pose with your right shin in front and taking your blocks or your bolsters with you, whatever you used on the other side. Elbows come forward and allowing the body to soften. And even if you don't have blocks, just staying propped up on the hands is fine. As long as you feel like you can get a little bit of relaxation. You might be feeling quite a nice stretch here for that right hip too. So really getting into the hips in these poses, especially in this practice. Let's take 3 more breaths. And then we'll use the hands to bring us all the way back up. You can place your blocks off to the side. And we'll take our bolster and just place it to one side of the mat. Let's come to lie on our side with the bolster back behind us. Now, if you want a block or an extra cushion for your head, maybe that'll add some comfort. So we'll come to lie on our left side, keeping the knees together. And with the bolster just supporting under the back, we'll come into a reclined twist. So we'll open up that right shoulder, and your bolster is going to help you decide how much or how little you want to twist today, and just allowing that right shoulder to lean back onto the bolster. And just getting a gentle rotation into the spine and opening into the front of the chest. If you want to, you can even cactus that right arm just to open up a little bit more. We'll take another 5 breaths here. Then we'll slowly just roll over onto your back. Take your bolster over to the other side. You'll be lying on your right side. Bolster supporting back behind you. And then opening up your left shoulder and adjusting yourself into a comfortable version of your twist today. And twisting can feel really nice for the body when done moderately according to how your body feels, just to really open up through that rotation. And just holding it there. Staying connected to those nice deep belly breaths. We've got another 5 breaths here. And after your 5th breath, we'll roll onto our back. Just remove the block if you have it supporting under the head. Keep your bolster nearby. So rolling onto your spine, we'll move into a supported bridge. If this doesn't feel good for you, I encourage you to just stay in a side lying position. And at any time, if you feel any dizziness or nausea or any funny symptoms, lie on your left side for the remainder of the class until the symptoms subside. And by that time, we're probably moving into Shavasana anyway. So taking your pillow with you or your bolster, we'll find a lift into the hips and then sliding the bolster underneath the hips to support us in our bridge pose. Now, just adjusting here until you get a comfortable position. You definitely can use a block if you would like to have a block under the sacrum. I just find the bolsters a little bit softer for the hips. And just connecting hands to baby here. And just taking a couple of deep breaths. Noticing what it feels like to have the hips elevated. Allowing the hips to really soften down into the bolster. We're only going to be here for about another 10 breaths. And after your next breath, let's slide those heels in, push the hips up, removing your bolster. And then for your Shavasana, you can choose, if you're happy lying on your back, maybe you want to slide your bolster underneath your knees and stay in a supine position. Or as an alternative during pregnancy, can come to lie over onto one side. Once again, a block for support of the head may feel comfortable, and taking your bolster between the knees. And just playing around until you find a nice comfortable shape for your body today. Top hand can rest on baby, just as you find that connection of palm to breath, feeling the belly expand with each inhale and soften with each exhale. Just staying connected to the breath. And as we move into the Shavasana, I want you to take a moment to really send gratitude to your body. It is performing miracles on a daily basis, and it is working incredibly hard. Your body is strong, resilient, and powerful. And even taking the time just to do this restorative practice is hopefully giving it all the nurturing and relaxation that it needs and very much deserves. So if you found you've been a bit hard on yourself, or maybe you could send a little bit more love and kindness your way, then use this time just to really soak it up. Congratulate yourself for all that you have done this far and everything that is still to come. If you have more time, I really encourage you to stay in your Shavasana as long as possible, even if it's just another 2 or 3 minutes. And just to really soak up the stillness and relaxation. If you are ready to move out of this practice with me, then we'll just create a little bit of movement in the fingers and toes just to bring some awakening back to the body. And if you're lying on your back, you may want to Stretch the arms up overhead. If you're on your side, maybe just the top arm stretches up. Almost like you're giving a nice full body yawn. And then coming to lie on your side if you aren't there already. From our side lying shape, we'll just remove the bolster if it's still between your knees. Use your top arm to push yourself up into any comfortable seat. And it doesn't matter what shape you've chosen, just let your hands relax down to the side of the body as you welcome yourself back and into your space. And then connecting the hands through to heart center as we take a moment to seal off this class with that gratitude, that love, and that kindness to ourselves. And when you're ready, you can blink your eyes open. Thank you so much for practicing with me. I hope you are feeling completely relaxed and rejuvenated.